Hi everyone, welcome to STEMophile. I am Imran Shah and today we'll start chapter 3 of our C programming series. In this chapter, we'll learn about operators. So, what is an operator? When we perform an operation on some values, we use symbols. For example, when we add two numbers, we use the plus symbol. These are called operators. In the operation 2 plus 3, plus is the operator and the values 2 and 3 are called operands. The entire process is called an operation. We have already learned this in school. There are different types of operators in C. In this video, we'll focus on arithmetic operators. Arithmetic operators are used for basic mathematical operations that we use daily to calculate something. These operators are addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus. We've already used them before. Now, we'll dive deeper into them. Let's use these operators in our program. We create two variables a and b and store 10 in a and 5 in b. We create another variable named c, which will store the result of the operation. C equals a plus b. When this line executes, it first does the arithmetic operation a plus b. This operation gives us 15, which is the result of the addition. So, a plus b is replaced with 15. And then the expression looks like this. Now, the result 15 is stored in the variable c. This is how it works. When you dry run it, keep this rule in mind. Let's print the value of the variable c. Printf result is %d, c. It will print result is 15. Let's do the second arithmetic operation, which is subtraction. Instead of the plus sign, we use the minus sign, which will subtract the value of b from the value of a. So, 10 minus 5 becomes 5 and the result is stored in the variable c. We don't need to modify this line. Let's run it. Now it prints result is 5. For multiplication, we use the star sign, which multiplies the values and stores the result in c. Now let's move on the interesting part. First, let's learn about the modulus operator, and after that we'll cover division. The modulus operator is represented by the % sign. It is read as a mod b. Let's understand it with a real-life example. Imagine a man who has 10 apples in his basket and 5 children. He gives those apples to his children equally. So each child gets 2 apples and there are no apples left in his basket. This means there are 0 apples left. The remainder is 0. How many apples are left in the basket? 0. This is called modulus. There's one rule in modulus. Do not cut the apples into pieces. Give complete and equal apples to each child. If there are extra apples left, keep them in the basket. For example, if the father has 7 apples, he gives 1 apple to each child, and there are 2 extra apples left. He could have cut them into equal pieces. But as I said, the rule is to give complete and equal apples. So, in this case, how many apples are left in the basket? 2. So the result of 7 mod 5 is 2. This is called the remainder in mathematics. This is why the modulus operator doesn't work with floating point numbers, because here we are dealing with whole apples, not pieces of apples. If you use float variables, it will give you an error. Next, let's talk about the division operator. We use slash to divide two numbers. Let's look at the previous example. If there are 7 apples and 5 children, in division, there is no rule about not cutting apples into pieces. The father gives 1 whole apple to each child, and the remaining 2 apples are cut into 10 equal pieces. Each child gets 1 whole apple and 4 pieces. If we run the program, it still says the result is 1, not 1.4. Why? Pause the video and think. Write the reason in comments section. Okay, the answer is a floating point number. But when both operands of the division are integers, the result becomes an integer. It ignores the decimal point. It only takes the integer part. To get the correct floating point result, at least one of the variables must be of type float. Let's declare variable a as float. Since at least one operand is float, the result of this operation will be a floating point number. If both operands are floats, the result will obviously be a float. If both operands are integers, the result will be an integer. The same rule applies to other operators as well. Let's run the program again. It still gives the same result, 1. Why? Pause the video and think about what's wrong with the program. Write the reason in comments section. Notice one thing, the variable c is of type int, which means when the result of the division is stored in c, it truncates the decimal part. It only stores the integer part. So we need to change c to float. But there's still a problem. Pause the video and think about it. If you find out, let me know in the comments. The problem is with the format specifier. Since our variable is of type float, we should use %f, not %d, which is for integers. Now, let's run the program. It prints result is 1.400000. By default, %f displays 6 digits after the decimal point. If we want it to display only one digit after the decimal point, we write %.1f, which means show only one digit after the decimal. Let's run it. Now it prints 1.4. Here's a question for you. If we want to show 2 digits after the decimal, what should we write here? Think about it and let me know in the comments section. We can also use multiple operators in a single expression. Let's create some variables. X equals 4, Y equals 2, Z equals 10, C equals A plus B multiplied by X divided by Y minus Z. When there are multiple operators in a single expression, the question arises, which operator works first? There's a rule in mathematics called the BODMAS rule, but that rule doesn't apply in programming. In C, operators follow a precedence order, meaning some operators have higher priority and will be solved first. Here's the order. Multiplication, division, and modulus have higher priority. Plus and minus have lower priority. So in this expression, multiplication and division have higher priority and will be solved first. If two operators have the same priority, like multiplication and division, they are solved from left to right. Let's solve the multiplication first. 7 multiplied by 4 equals 28. Now the expression becomes C equals A plus 28 divided by Y minus Z. Next, division comes next in the precedence. So we solve 28 divided by 2. 28 divided by 2 equals 14. Now the expression becomes C equals A plus 14 minus Z. Now we have addition and subtraction, which have the same priority and are solved from left to right. So first we solve A plus 14, which becomes 19. 19 minus 10 equals 9. So the result is 9 and the expression is solved. The result is stored in the variable C. This is how we solve expressions with multiple operators. Here's an assignment for you. Solve the same expression, but this time with round brackets. Tell me the answer in the comments below. Remember, parentheses have the highest precedence, so they'll be solved first. We will learn more about operators in upcoming videos. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, subscribe to STEMophile, and share this video with your friends. Press the bell icon to never miss an update. See you next time and happy coding!